Today, the park in Collierville Square is now officially Town Square Park. Collierville Public Information Officer Mark Heiberger said recent questions from citizens prompted the resolution Monday night by the mayor and board of aldermen.
The desire was to put to bed the confusion over what is the name of the park.
The catalyst for it all, this old monument right smack dab in the middle of the park, which bears the name Confederate Park at the bottom.
That is probably what started some of the misperceptions about the name of the park.
But Heiberger said that name was never mentioned in any of their research on the square, dating all the way back to the 1800s. These old surveys and plats show the park never had a name, and Confederate Park was never up for consideration in the past or the present.
The park has been referred to for generations and generations here as just Town Square, actually. It just seemed most appropriate that we name it Town Square Park.
This is one of the few that I do trust to come out this late at night.
They're quick, easy, and convenient. With a handful of quarters, cars can once again look new.
Most of the time I wash at the house, but yeah, I mean, when I'm out, I'm always washing my cars.
The car wash sitting on the corner of Poplar and Avalon at the busy Midtown intersection is a spot frequented by Wally Langford, a car collector. But also, the same spot nearly 24 hours prior, police say DeAndre Johnson was shot. A teddy bear soaked by the afternoon rain marks that spot. Witnesses say they heard about 3 shots on Sunday night. Johnson's friends added more balloons to the small memorial to remember the father of 2. But for customers like Cynthia Bean, who come here for the ice, she believes more can be done to make her feel safe.
Since they don't have an attendant 24 hours a day, I think that they would probably need to have one to come around maybe every 4 hours just to do a spot check.
A spot check Langford says he does even before pulling up for a wash.
I look over the situation before I come up. You know, this is Memphis.
A rainy start to our week, and remnants of Harvey are expected to continue. Dale Lane with the Shelby County Office of Preparedness says that we can't prevent flash flooding. Water levels on the Mississippi are well below flood stage, so our rivers and streams are not at risk of flooding either.
The good news is that right now the Mississippi River is below 34 feet. It's actually way down. It's below 5 feet, and it's not projected to get above that.
Memphis Public Works is also monitoring the weather conditions. They warn city streets may be a different story and to watch out for standing water.
And you do have the potential for flooding to happen in low-lying areas. So those are the areas that we will work to notify or put notice out if there is anything that we can do.
Crews are inspecting and clearing out debris from storm drains, inlets, and other potential problem areas to help minimize flooding as much as possible.
Obviously, it's important that those be open and unrestricted to stormwater flow, which would otherwise cause it to potentially flood or pond and endanger the public.
They encourage homeowners to do their part as well.
So to keep your bag, trash, and leaves out of the gutters. When it rains heavily, they can easily wash into those areas and cause flooding. So keep them on the back of the curb, out of the way.
Joe, residents in this area say speeding around this curve is definitely a concern, and you can see the signs. That is where the mailbox was, and this is where it is now.
Well, Joe, here's the ice cream van Mamadou Ba was driving during the attack. You see his windows here all busted out, and now he's gotten so much support. Even a GoFundMe page now set up, people wanting to help.
Joe, it's a lot of these downed trees that are causing this damage and these power outages. Hundreds of downed trees, more than 200 around the city of Memphis, and here's one of them right here. We're on Madison in Midtown. Take a look at this tree. It's split right at the base, toppling over and missing this home behind me by just feet.
Well, Joe, this all happened right here in front of this auto body shop, and witnesses who were here tell me they're extremely shocked because they say this sort of thing doesn't happen in this area.
This tree here at Overton Park is about 180 years old, according to the Overton Park Conservancy. And tonight, some people who use the dog park here are wondering why this tree is still here a month after that storm.
Joe, still no arrest in this car wash shooting, though we did learn some tragic news today that the shooting has turned into a homicide. The reason for this growing memorial here behind me in Midtown, and it's possible police say that the victim knew his attacker.
heard is just gunshots.
It was anything but a normal day of work for Luis Flores.
Guy came running saying that to call the police, so I called the police, and next thing I know, the guy was laying down on the floor, I guess dead.
Police say this after a man was shot and killed while trying to rob another man near East Parkway and Walker Avenue, right in front of Enrique's auto shop where Luis works. Investigators were on the scene for hours, and witnesses say they're not used to this type of crime in the Cooper Young neighborhood.
In less than 24 hours, crews will transform Shelby Farms into the vision Diego Weingartner saw about a year ago as he rode his bike through the park.
Taking the energy that I was feeling and also looking back at the history of Memphis music, the legacy, the rich history, it just seemed like if you combine those two elements and then also this incredible setting, Shelby Farms Park, it was the perfect formula to put on a music festival.
12-year-old Nazim Houston Jr. is struggling to walk. After all, that's what he says he was doing when all of this started.
All I heard was pow, and I just started running. I didn't do no looking back. I just started running.
Nazim tells me he was walking home from the store Wednesday night when he was shot in the leg.
I looked down and blood was dripping, and I had a hole in my leg.
Police say they found 7 shell casings at the scene near Saffron's and Manassas.
That's number one thing I basically try to prevent, and it happened. So yeah, I was in shock. I was hurt.
Nazim's dad is a single father of 3.
Got all my kids out of foster care. Been raising them by myself since then.
The tiniest lips, the tiniest feet. Born at only 25 weeks, weighing 1 pound, 13 ounces, little Sebastian Mata Ortiz has proved he already has a lot of fight.
I thought he was not going to make it. It was an everyday crying. They told me that I was going to lose him, that just to go home and let it pass.
But the doctors at Methodist Le Bonheur Germantown offered Mom Alejandra hope. And 70 days now in the NICU, he's getting bigger and stronger every day.
We've had to support his lungs, his liver, his kidneys, his heart, his skin.
Dr. Martin Jenkins says what sets Sebastian apart is that he hasn't gotten a single infection.
But over the last 5 to 10 years, we've gotten so much better across the country that survival is up to 60 to 80% in the 24 to 26 week gestation age group.
Now doctors are hopeful Sebastian can go home in 5 to 6 weeks to be with his big brother, who's only a year old. Alejandra, who had to go back to work 3 weeks postpartum, says the nurses helped carry her through, and for that, she is forever grateful.
They just treated me like I was the queen. I've never prayed so much in my life. I've never cried so much in my life. I feel so blessed at the same time having my 2 kids alive.
Kendall Kirkham, WMC Action News 5.
That's about all I know on the piano, but the artist that will be playing this piano and gracing this stage this weekend in Oxford will be a whole lot better. Some Memphians might know this tune. It's written by a Memphian, W.C. Handy, in the early 1940s.
Ragtime is the first truly original American music.
Music predating 1939 is coming alive in Oxford this weekend for the 43rd Annual World Championship Old-Time Piano Playing Contest. This pianist is the only 4-time champion.
All I can say is that I love the music.
Pianists as young as 8 and as old as 79 perform for a small prize. To win, they must show a wide range in music, but it's about much more than just the music.
You can't just play the piano, you have to be an entertainer. Because ragtime was popular music, you have to smile at the audience, you have to converse with them, and you have to entertain them. And you get points for that.
The contest almost never made it to year 43. 2 years ago, it nearly shut down.
We were going to end it after 41 years just because we were out of steam.
But the Ole Miss music program offered to take it in, and this is now the 2nd year the contest is being held on campus.
And it's been wonderful.
So the toe-tapping music is living on. Music fans of all ages are encouraged to come out and enjoy some music of a golden era long since gone by some of the best musicians in the world.
These are tunes that you'll whistle or hum for 2 weeks after the contest is over.
The event goes on each night, starting tonight until Sunday. In Oxford, Chris Luther, WMC Action News 5.